Good morning, Director Harr Gunatilaka ADCP. The cops have been killing everyone that's sending information in. Now, the ASIO Board of Directors, they said I'm really the Director General of ASIO, not Duncan Lewis. George Brandis hired Duncan Lewis, and Peter Dutton hired Burgess. Burgess has my resume. He's never been in Signals. Burgess is a Channel 7 actor. No idea, NFI. What Burgess did, he abolished all of ASIO's programs and put all the Megaphone people into ASIO. Then they got the devil worshippers. The devil worshippers to murder all of ASIO. Most of ASIO had to go overseas 3 times in 7 years, including all the ASIO directors. The cops, led by police union leavers, wanted to become national security. All the police union people wanted to become national security with the police. And through Dutton, they created Home Affairs. And then they asked for the national security budget. We didn't say anything because we read them. Mind reader. And we knew they put all the pedophiles into ASIO and classified all their pedophile stuff as ASIO. And the pedophiles are with the devil worshippers. They work together with children's stuff, the devil worshippers and the pedophiles. The devil worshippers do a lot of children's stuff. Channel 7. Even Daniel Morecambe's family are devil worshippers. Daniel Morecambe family are devil worshippers. They do a lot of children's stuff. The Liberals and the Labourers and the Greens wanted to murder all of ASIO. They have this thing, when they come into office, they get a kid and they wank in the kid's mouth. They wank in the kid's mouth and they all have to do it to show solidarity with the cops. And they've got a massive network. And they wanted to take over and they wanted to get rid of ASIO, who stood before them, who stood in their way. And they put all the devil worshippers in to murder all of ASIO. So we waited to see who these devil worshippers are. And the devil worshippers use these pretty blonde women. Jennifer Hawkins, Delta Goodrum's a devil worshipper. And then the women, when they devil worship the kids, they wank on the dead body and they eat bits off the dead body. And the women are naked. And they give them lots of drugs and everything. And all prostitutes. Pretty blonde women. And then what they do, they give all the foster kids without parents, to these blonde women who get paid thousands of dollars, including on cocaine and stuff, to wank on. And then they give the kids to the pedophiles to wank on, to have sex with, the blonde women. And you can check, which I'll go over at the end of my notes, you can check that they're the foster parents. This is all correct. As far-fetched. You can check that they're the foster parents. And these women had custody of the kids. And they work for the police. And the police wanted to murder all of ASIO. So they put the devil worshippers into it. They got the devil worshippers to murder all of ASIO. And everything they do is to find out what ASIO does. When they get a little bit of information what ASIO does, they copy it right across the board. And they want to create a separate workforce to replace ASIO once they murder them. Once they murder ASIO, But Asio went overseas. Asio's with the crown. With the crown. Then they get the devil worshippers to murder the kids. When the kids reach a certain age, 12, 13, when they're able to understand what's been happening, they murder them and they give the kids to these blonde women, Jennifer Hawkins, Delta Goodrum. They pretend to be the pedophile cops. And they killed all the pedophile cops, is what the FBI told me to announce today. They killed all the pedophile cops. And they killed all the FBI. They get this Robert Meager, they go and get the Michelle Pogmore murderer to murder them. They say you're busting them. They block the street off and murder you. So we waited to see who the devil worshippers are. So they get paid thousands of dollars a day. You know, $500 an hour. I checked this out as well. They pay $500 for a kid in 2004. If you check withdrawals of $500, right? And we checked this out with Asio and the Commonwealth Bank, and it's true as well. You check all the withdrawals of $500, right, across the country, and then you get the footage for that period of time, and they're with Daniel Morecambe, they're with Michelle Pogmore, withdrawing out $500, and they're with these kids that are now, they bought the kids and they've taken them to the bank to withdraw the $500. And that's true as well. That was part of my detective work. And they pay these women $500 per hour for a couple of hours. And then they fuel their cocaine habit. They fuel their cocaine habit. The devil worshippers will put the kids in a circular pit. Everywhere where there's a circular pit, and roast them up. They'll burn their legs and eat bits off their legs and wank in the wounds to spawn Satan. Pretty good. And then the politicians, right, when they do the devil worship, the politicians watch them on TikTok and they do a ceremony with all the ministers and all the staff. Kevin Rudd, Tanya Plibersek, Julia Bishop, Anthony Albanese, all the Liberals. And the people that turned up were the judges and ministers. Kevin Rudd. Kevin Rudd's with the Brethren are devil worshippers. Anthony Albanese, Peter Dutton, Scott Morrison, Andrew Scipione, all wanked on the child's body and ate the child after they put them in a circular devil worship pit. Then they started saying some weird chanting. Hula bula shula hula kula bula shula bula. It went for about 3 hours, all the ministers. They went into chanting. Hula bula shula bula hula bula hula shula bula hula bula. Even the TikTok audience was chanting this hula bula for about 3 hours. It was nuts. That's what they call the ceremony. So the cops were killing everybody that sent in information. Yes, they did mega clowns. The Mega said they didn't. The cops LRAD me 24 hours a day. It's our comms, our intelligence comms. So we know what it is. They do their cases. They do criminal accusations. I don't know what happened to them. They asked me what happened to the cops. I have no idea. I don't know. They wanted to kill all of Asia, but they got the devil worshippers to kill all of Asia. These devil worshippers, they're linked to the SAS, Ben Roberts, the SAS. They're the biggest vermin. You think they'd be proper? They were rough nuts. I was a general in the SAS, I don't tell anyone. I really was. General in the SAS, Australian Specialised Service. You know that course with the they're not going to believe anyway. Went through that last time. Catching the devil. Here we go. Okay. ASIO advise. Say that you are. I think this you are. Okay, just ASIO opens P1 ASIO opens P1 child birthday party concrete block murder cases. The Australian Federal Police, they tested in every single copy in Australia and concluded they would say who murdered children. And concluded if they would say it. So the ASIO tested every copy in Australia to see if they would say who murdered the children on their birthdays. The Australian Federal Police with the FBI currently concluding research development tests, evaluations including testing in the field with providing police leads and information to the federal government at a cost of $6 million per day to the government and therefore the taxpayers, the FBI allege. Degrading the police, as per P756, conducted an information and data attack on government institution. Information data attack. They removed all the information that I sent in. I sent in all the leads, over 4,000 leads. They removed the whole server. Information and data attack on government institutions. Conducted area denial programs, where all details and facts are reputed. Instilled subterfuge programs using subversive means. And government subversion programs, where the values of society are reversed or undermined. ASIO are required to transmit reliable information that will be acted on by all areas of government service. US signals, military intelligence, government advice. Information operation has been successful thus far. Elsa Louisa, Police Integrity Commission, SAS, PIC, Ben Roberts and David Irwine, They just brought in anyone that said it was Mega's group that was responsible for the child murders and murdered them. So the conclusion is that they just brought in anyone that said that they murdered the kids, Mega murdered them, and then they murdered them. They got Mega's people to murder them. They moved people in. Australian politicians move people into schizophrenic programs. They say that you're schizophrenic, they all say you're mental. Because they all work together, they all say you're mental. LRAD, driven out of the house. Use LRAD, homeless program, they make you homeless. Australian politicians removed and replaced. Work replacement programs, they remove you from your position. Politicians remove you from your position. Australian National Security Government Investigation Work, ASIO findings. As per P228, ASIO found the government investigation work centred around poor leadership and disregard for risk management and mission planning standards by those directly involved in arresting the ASIO investigator, Director Harr Gunatilaka ADCP. They had enough time to review everything. They had ample time to notify everyone. They kept the facts and details hidden. I'm actually the Director General of ASIO. The real Director General of ASIO. I am. Burgess was hired by Peter Dutton. You got to be hired by the ASIO generals. They took over the ASIO website, defaced the website. Burgess was never in Signals. I'm the Director General of ASIO. It's their daily LRAD harassment routine. They put all the Mega-Ray LRAD into ASIO. They recruited and trained Mega-Ray LRAD harassment teams. Director Harr Gunatilaka ADCP US Signals Works highlights the importance of proper leadership and adherence to law. The Australian Federal Police asked, did they get them in? Did they arrest them? No, they let them off. They didn't arrest them, they let them off. The Australian Federal Police asked what they did to mitigate similar occurrences. ASIO advised the Australian people trust Director Harr ADCP and the ASIO Board of Directors. ASIO advised the obligation for those in office to examine the personal and professional conduct. ASIO advised ASIO successfully executed all mission plans. ASIO work was conducted with integrity, accountability, initiative and toughness. ASIO's unclassified notes have been posted online for comment and feedback. Note, Brethren and Freemason, Mike Burgess, David Irvine, Home Affairs, Peter Dutton, ASIO, 4 Brethren and Freemasons, ADF, 300 Reynolds, Brethren and Freemasons, ASIO state offices, opened by the police. You know, these ASIO state offices, ASIO just had a Canberra office, and the cops opened up the state offices and diverted the number. They diverted the number. And then they call themselves ASIO, and they say that ASIO is not ASIO. They say to the ASIO people that they're not ASIO, and they can't go in there because the devil worshippers are with them. They're with the devil worshippers, and they pretend to be ASIO's separate workforce. They took over the number and made it a state office, ASIO state offices. State, federal law enforcement, Brethren and Freemasons, local politicians and state politicians, federal politicians, 4 Brethren and Freemasons. So the cops are killing one another and they get butter to kill them. They killed all the pedophile cops. They're actually all Mako. On the Mako register. They're all the Mako people. Is what we realised the other day. What we knew, but it's when it got officiated that they're all the Mako people. They killed almost all of ASIO. All the ministers all do devil worship. Peter Dutton, Anthony Albanese, even Tony Plibersek. Don't let them fool you. They pretend to be really good angels. They change your reality. They say that you're not ASIO, you're mental. Something, and they change everything around. All your reality, they put you into mental health. The Australian athletes are devil worshippers. You got to believe me. I fully support Australia. And prior to me wearing USA, I used to wear the Australian uniform until they became Australia. They became ASIO, and we had to go overseas to another agency to do our work. They abolished all of our work. That should have all been Australian national security. Then they became National Security and Home Affairs. And we got removed, ousted. They put all the Megaphone people in. LRAD, harassment. All the athletes, Australian athletes, Susie O'Neill's people, are all devil worshippers. The cricket players are all devil worshippers. Now you can check this, because I'm the investigator. I know firsthand, and they Megaphone me as well. And they do ceremonies, which they did last night, a ceremony. Because they're the foster parents. Check if the cricket players are foster parents of dead kids. They take them out to the country. They devil worship and eat them. Then check if they want to classify the case as secret, as national security. They want to get into ASIO and classify all the... Check if the athletes, they really are. The Australian athletes, the former athletes. Like the Kieran, I don't know if Kieran Perkins, I don't think Kieran Perkins is. I think neither is Ian Thorpe, except for one or two, or they all joined together as Australia. All the Australian cricket players, Ricky Ponting, the current Australian cricket team, are all devil worshippers. Now you can check whether they're the foster parents of murdered kids, of dead kids, and they want to classify the case. Because they're all with Home Affairs and they all try to classify their cases. You can check that, and that's correct as well. It's very sad. Then they use this talk, double meaning, schizophrenic talk. They talk two different things at the same time. Seriously. He's never in signals. No idea. NFI. They're with the cops trying to take over ASIO.